Hello, and welcome to a trophy stream. It could be a trophy stream. We're trying to win a trophy. Today is the NYSE Online 2020. This is a classic vintage tournament hosted by Nick Detwiler. I played in a couple of them in paper. They were awesome, crazy good events. So I definitely wanted to support his online event this year. It's a charity event, so like 10 of the $11 entry is going to charity, which is dope. You can find links in the chat, and I'll probably put links below on the YouTube video to that. Today, seeing as we're trying to get the trophy, we're going to play PO. I know, it's a surprise to everyone. No one could have seen this coming. It's a PO stream. It's an Esper PO list just because I still don't really like playing Pyroblast. I don't think it does what you need to do in a PO deck. So we're playing Esper today. There's a little bit of interesting things happening compared to our most recent Esper lists, and that's I put a Grim Monolith in as an extra artifact to help, enable Metalcraft in PO. It also helps you play Karn, which I think is pretty good right now. There's a lot of these artifact combo decks. There's some Belcher popping up now because of the new multi-sided land things. But I've always thought Karn in PO was always okay. It's a great mirror breaker. Can't be pyroblasted. So I wanted to try that today. And then we're on Night's Whisper over Preordain because you're playing so many Moxen. And we're on 2 Lavinia's main just because of the mentioned Belcher decks. Those are like
received.
I can join. Okay, sorry. There's a lot of Belcher decks running around that have all 0 drops, all artifact mana. Lavinia is great for them. So, how do I feel about the Monolith? I haven't played enough matches to know if the Monolith is good or not. I've had a hard time playing vintage matches in the past week or so. I just haven't been enjoying them very much, so I haven't played too much. So it's good that we're, hopping back on a known quantity here. I think Whisper's great. I agree. Also can't be pyroblasted. Alright, so my pairings are going up soon. This tournament is being run through MTG Melee. So it's a little bit different from a challenge where I just automatically get paired. Here I'm going to wait for my pairing to come up, and then we're going to challenge them in the tournament practice room. So the deck list should be available on Cardboard Live. If it's not, I will fix that immediately. Let me know if you don't see it. NYSE packs. I think you should be able to see it. Yeah. It's a pretty standard Esper PO list. Obviously, Esper PO itself is not standard. The standard list is the 4-color Bryant Cook PO. But I'm a pretty big fan of the Esper variant. I like Camball on the side. I do like what some of the I do like the heavier black and white, but I don't typically find too much problem with pitching to force, but it definitely is a concern when you're not playing preordains. So, but if you're playing like some extra Lavinias, that can help too. We are on like 3 Lavinias because I do think that people will be trying to play Belcher or KCI or these fun decks. Because it is, it's only a $10 entry fee, $11 entry fee tournament, so. Still don't have a pairing. That's fine, though. If anyone has any other questions about the list, I'll take them now as we wait for our pairings. So I cut the Teferi. So normally I play 1 Lavinia, 1 Teferi, and then a second Lavinia in the board. But I cut the Teferi. I'm not even a super huge fan of Teferi in PO because I just wanted to play double Lavinia today. I think that's completely reasonable. Like, I think I don't, like I said, I've always said this too. The 4-color PO list is good. There are definitely upsides to playing Pyroblast, and Bryant has put a lot of work into the 4-color PO list and done a lot of things that I like. It's just not that I just don't. Me personally, I don't like having the volcanic islands in my deck. And I don't think that Pyroblast is always the thing you want to be doing. And that's just how I feel about it. But I don't think the 4-color peel list is bad, and it could even be the better version, for all I know. Yeah, I suspected that there would be some Belcher players and some KCI players. So I felt like 3 Lavinias was the way to go for this tournament. Deck list should be public, because you that's how Melee works, I believe. So you should know what you're playing against, and you should be able to look at their deck lists. So if that's not true, then I don't know. You should be able to look at your opponent's deck list. I don't know how you do it on Melee, but we'll find out, won't we? Oh, man, I am freezing. It got so cold last night, all of a sudden, and then all my windows are open. I still have an AC in. So you see me a little bundled up today, because I'm not putting the heat on. I'm not paying for that. The round has been paired. All right. I don't see my pairing, but we'll get there eventually, I hope. I can go to the tournament homepage and scroll down the player list to click their desk. Okay, all right, sweet. Yeah, it got cold. I like when it gets cold outside because I like having comforters and extra blankets and stuff. But I just wasn't prepared, you know? Discord says we're... Oh, cool, it pops up. Look at that. That's so cool. Alright, this is dope. Alright, so we're playing against an interesting Golos shops deck with only 2 Golos. 2 Forsaken Monument. A very interesting list. 2 Forsaken Monument, 2 Crucible, 2 Needle Main, 2 Golos, and a Metamorph with 2 Karn. Very interesting, very interesting. So I need to add my friend Kevin over here, I guess. I'm trying to figure it out. Bear with me. Check in. I am checked in. All right. They said they wanted us to play in the practice room. Maybe I don't need to add them as a friend. Maybe I just need to go to the tournament practice room and find him. Am I supposed to make it? I guess I can make it. Create a match for 2 players that anyone can join and allow watchers. Great. Alright, so hopefully Kevin finds it. I made a room in tournament practice. Alright, we found it. We're here. We have a dude doing power tools next door. They've been doing power tool things since 6:30 this morning, which I feel like is kind of rude. Alright. Luck, have fun. Alright, so this is round 1 of the NYSE versus Kevin. He is on a Golos Shops deck with Forsaken Monument. Very cool. So let's just bear with me with the power tools outside. Hopefully it won't come through the stream too much. Our hand has 2 mana, kind of like some hard cards to cast. This is like not the best hand versus shops. It's really not the best hand versus shops. I almost think we should probably mulligan it to try to find some more powerful cards. Like, if opponent spheres, what's our line? We have to fetch basic island, play Ruby, untap, and hope our brainstorm works out for us. It just doesn't seem like what we want to be doing. We'd rather have like a strong hand with a force of will. I think I'm going to mulligan this hand. It is nice to have double land, but... Alright, this seems fine. I'm going to keep both the lands and all of the Moxen. So I think I'm actually just going to put away this Lotus. Lotus is kind of a liability when I don't have something to cast right away and they have 4 Revokers in their deck. Obviously, my hand has no gas in it currently, but we have a top for that, so. I definitely like this kind of hand versus workshops. Well, that's vintage. That's a really bad card to draw to. Our other hand was certainly worse versus this, so... I mean, maybe that's not even true. If they don't have another land, they can't play anything underneath their Thorn. I guess they can play Revoker. They have a Wasteland, so 3 mana for Inspector, yeah. Definitely not going to crack this into our Wasteland. We do have double Island in our deck, though. So it's possible we want to play a top this turn. Possible we want to probe this turn. Just a cycle. Alright, I'm down to fetch double Island here, which is the biggest part about playing Esper. I mean, you could probably play double Island in 4 color, it just gets kind of dicey. I really enjoy playing double Island in tournaments where there's going to be shops. I think it makes more sense to top than it does to probe. If they revoke this, we're not going to draw with it. We'd rather leave it in play for an Academy or a Tinker. Wow, they have a Workshop too. This looks bad for us, not going to lie to you. Okay, they have a Crucible Wasteland lock. Good thing we have double Island. Seems they have drawn all the good cards in their deck. So this could be a problem. And we're getting our top revoked. Alright. We have a Hercules that costs 3, though. We have 1 Hercules in our main. I mean, I'd take an Ancestral, too. We're on a clock. It's 3 turns. I don't think keeping Force of Will is doing anything for us. I'm just going to pay all of the mana to play Probe. They have a Ghost Quarter? Jesus Christ. Alright, so we're locked. They know our deck list, so they know we have no more islands in our deck. We can't play 0 drops, so I'm just going to concede. How many Ghost Quarters do they have? 2 Ghost Quarters? It's kind of like Reed's list from the championship. So, we should have won the die roll. Misplay on our part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Blightsteel. And I'm going to bring in 3 Hercules Recalls. And I'm going to bring in Swords to Plowshares. I don't think I'm bringing in Balance here. Doesn't seem great. What does their sideboard look like? They have 3 Null Rods and a Metamorph. Maybe Cages. 3 Null Rods, huh? So we probably want this extra land as well. And then to board out, we'd like to board out Mental Misstep, Gataxian Probe. We want to board out one of the tops. Narset. Lavinia is okay on the play. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. We can lose Fluster, and we want these, maybe one of these Whispers or a Lavinia. I used to cut Yogwill, but I kind of decided against that. I think this is fine. I do kind of like keeping in both Tinker targets, because there are enough situations where you kind of want to choose. Maybe one Lavinia is like better. It's like a little tough. Like neither of the cards are super good, but you probably don't need two. You definitely don't want to draw two unless you want to pitch to force. I think all of like the rest of the cards here, like that you could still cut, are all kind of similar in power level, where you don't really want them in your deck, but you don't have enough cards to bring out. I'm down. Let's cut a Lavinia. I'm sure. I'm down with this. No, on the play, I kind of want two Lavinia. On the draw, we'll put we'll play one Lavinia, I think. And then on the draw, we might play Mind Break Trap next time, but we'll have to see. All right, so we're looking for a turn one kill hand. When you're on the play versus shops, that's what you want to do. All right, on the play versus shops, I want a turn one kill hand. Yeah, this isn't gonna do it. Mulligan. This hand has an ancestral, so we're gonna keep it. What we're gonna do is bin the Night's Whisper, cast turn one ancestral, and look to set up a Tinker probably. I mean, this hand could go really poorly if Ancestral doesn't find like pretty meaningful cards. But we have a Force. If we find a different blue card, we can always like find a Tinker. This could find a Tinker. This hand should be good. All right, I'm just gonna try to go off as much as I can on my turn here. So definitely play Island to play around Wasteland. Ancestral, hoping to draw Moxen. That's unfortunate. But we can Demonic. We can still Tinker for Blightsteel, or we could Demonic for a Lotus or something like that. I do think it's better to play this Mana Crypt out now, even though we can take damage from it. Well, then you kind of get revoked. I guess I'm probably forcing their first play no matter what. And I would rather not have to force a Revoker, so I think I'm just going to hold the Mana Crypt. They do have an out to Colossus if they boarded in their one Metamorph. Which I think they would, because you want to Metamorph as Spheres. Has a Workshop draw on 6. Needle? What does Needle even do? What's in my deck that Needle hits? Top? Top Karn? Yeah, you got a Needle. I don't know what that does. So it seems like a card you don't want to bring in this matchup. I think I made my fetches good. If they name Tarn, I'll be sad. Yeah, name top. That makes the most sense if you're going to name something. I am just going to force this to let us play as free as possible here. Karn. I think that's a pretty reasonable slam here. It's not the best, but I think it's fine. No, I would rather pitch Mystical than pitch Hercules. We have a Demonic Tutor. I guess we could have Mysticaled on our upkeep and try to put a Blightsteel into play. That's fine. Maybe we should have. Well, it's a little late now. That's probably better, and just make them have it. Yeah, you're right. That would have been a better play. We should have just Mystical for Tinker in our upkeep. I kind of just forgot we had 3 mana, to be perfectly honest. Now we kind of are priced into jamming Karn, and I do think we actually have to fetch an Underground Sea, but... Yeah, no, that was just a misplay. I should have just pitched Hercules and gotten Tinker with my Mystical and just tinkered with no... Because we're going for Blightsteel, not Citadel. Just kind of a misplay. Oh. I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna grab... I'm just gonna go grab Lattice, I guess. Because there's no way they can kill this. I guess it doesn't really matter what I do. I can just plus, because it doesn't matter. I guess they can Revoker it, so I should just grab Lattice right now. But I have a Hercules. It's kind of weird. I don't really have like cards that matter in my sideboard with Karn. It's mostly a one-sided Null Rod. Yeah, if they don't play a creature, we can always get more mana. But I don't know. If we hit a mana, like we could always play a Citadel too. Yeah, not Tinkering is just like a huge punt for sure. All right. So this hits my Karn. But we have Hercules still. So they hit Mana Crypt. And they're gonna... Okay, that's kind of a weird play. We're just plussing our Karn and demonicking for something. I don't really know what something is, though. Game got really harder when I decided not to win. I think I'm just gonna get a Lotus. Mentor's not terrible either, but we don't have any spells, really. I put a Swords in my deck. Kind of interesting. It's probably not as good as a Lotus right here, though. I mean, we could get Crucibled, I guess, right now. Oh, they might go for the Monument and kill Karn? Alright, Karn down. That's pretty cool. Alright, we're just gonna jam a Citadel, so it's not a huge deal. I did think about this line. This is, you know, I decided not to put a Blightsteel in play so we could get more game actions, you know? We haven't cast enough Moxen yet, so... Oh, I hit a land on our first one. You hate to see it. Time Walk's a good one, though. Mentor and Time Walk on the top? Alright, I get to no complaints. No complaints from Justin here. Not a single complaint was had. Only the best two possible cards on the top of my library. Well, I should probably have bounced my Mana Crypt, to be perfectly honest, but I have a Hercules, so I guess it doesn't matter. I can just Hercules on my turn here. How many do I guess I could hold some now. I'd rather be able to continue going with Sid. It doesn't actually matter what I do, so who gives a fuck? Let's just go to the next game. Why am I min-maxing like the dumbest shit ever? I hope this is enough. I mean, I have 2 Hercles. It can't not be enough. Oh, man. It really doesn't matter what I choose to do, as long as I don't die to my mana crypt flip. Hercles getting rid of Citadel doesn't matter, because I have a lethal number of monks here. A very lethal number of monks. Alright, so we made some extra game actions just to make the day more enjoyable. Hopefully we can pull it together a little bit here. Alright, I'm gonna board out a Lavinia on the draw, and I'm gonna bring in a Mindbreak Trap on the draw. Monument's a cool card. I don't know if it's good. I think there's like some value to a monument in like a Genesis Chamber Tiny Robots version, but excuse me. I'm gonna bring the Mindbreak Trap. I think it's okay on the draw. And then we'll run it back. Yeah, definitely gonna keep the plow in. Opponent has a lot of creatures in their deck, actually. So their deck list is, I can bring it up for you guys. They're actually running 16 creatures. Oh, they have 1 Metamorph in the main, too. And they probably brought in a 2nd Metamorph. So hitting, like, a Revoker can be important. And then sometimes, like, a Stonecoil Clock. Or, like, you don't want them to get, like, Golos loop you. So there's a lot of things to consider. Okay. Do I want no? I do. I was about to say, do I want no Lavinias in? But I forgot I have 3 fucking Lavinias. All right, yeah. Let's just run it back. So we're on the draw here. Obviously, it's not the greatest place to be as a PO player, versus shops. But we've got tools, so let's see what we can do. These are not the tools we were looking for. I mean, this is one of the tools we were looking for, but the other cards are just not very good. They kept their 7, so we mulligan this Blightsteel away, have a Force, and Demon. Yeah, I mean, this seems fine. It's not the best hand. Don't get me wrong here. This has some weakness, but it's a powerful hand, so. Can we fucking not? I think I have to force this. Swear to God, if I get 3-balled after this. Chalice again. Alright, as long as we don't get 3-balled after. I think with only 1 land in hand, it's very unlikely. They just held a Sapphire? What? 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 How can you not play at least one of these beforehand? Like, I get you could play around Mindbreak Trap, right? So, like, play Sapphire first. Why is there Needle? What is happening? Things not to do. Scalding Dart, oh god. Oh no, that 50-50 was so close. Nice, I don't even have to crack a fetch now. Like that. I'm gonna not... Yeah, I'm definitely gonna not play my Crypt here. Am I gonna not play my Crypt? So if they play a Revoker and they name Jet, yeah, I feel like I don't want to play my Crypt here. I mean, I could always Hercules. I just don't want to Hercules if I don't have to Hercules, and obviously I don't really have to Hercules right now. Alright, I'm not gonna cast my Crypt. I think, like... I don't think it's necessary.
Announcement received.
3 Moxen? You just slammed a Chalice. Alright, so I'm gonna go Citadel, I think. seems better than going... They don't have traps, right? No. I think going Citadel is just better than going, Is going Citadel better than going just Blightsteel? I mean, I have a Hercules, so as long as I fetch a basic island. I mean, I'm just putting Tinker on top. That's the start here. So as long as I go basic island and they don't have a Revoker or a Strip Mine, Hercules should just be better. They have one card in here. I guess it just makes more sense to go Blightsteel. I guess they could have a Null Rod, but then they're gonna die. I'm gonna put a Blightsteel into play. I think it's better than putting a Citadel into play because I have the Hercules in my hand. My Citadels are very unlucky. I find lots of forces on the top. What is this? A statue? A Golos? A Lodestone? Well, I guess that stops my Hercules recall. So if I hit a land, I win. If not, they have to chump with Inspector. I really don't think we should have won this set, but opponent made some interesting choices in sideboarding. Like, if this is a real card, I guess if this had just named Misty, we would have lost. Oh, man. Well, I have a Force of Will here, so even if they draw Metamorph off the top, I just force it, and that's game, so this is not the worst card to draw. 3, 2, 5, yeah, that's fine. Alright, well, we got there, but it was a spicy one. Oh, get in there! I love it. Play to your outs. Big robot. Alright, so I lost game 1 and then won both sideboard games. Lost game 1, won sideboard games 2 and 3. That result. Alright. Well, I'll take that. One step closer to the trophy.